Alright, so I'm going to be cleaning out my van and products as such as I'm making this video, so it's not going to be too formal. But the new year is coming into play, 2018, so a lot of you at this time are thinking about what to do, what to focus on, what are you going to change in your business to obviously make more money, be more successful, or if you're just starting off, what do I do going into the new year to actually get my business off the ground and actually getting customers. Now, a lot of times you'll want to start writing goals on a piece of paper and start saying, okay, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things, right? I'm gonna focus on marketing. I'm gonna focus on how to detail. I'm gonna focus on, trying this new product. I'm gonna focus on making these videos. I'm gonna focus on, and you'll say, if I do all this every single day, I'm gonna be so successful. It's gonna work out, yada yada yada. But one true fact, a few key components to setting up your year is focusing on 1 or 2 main goals for the year, and that's it. You don't want to give yourself too many goals, because if you do that, you're just probably one person. Maybe you have your girlfriend, your spouse, your husband, whoever helping you out, but it's for the most part you're gonna be one person working on your business, and you're very limited on resources, funds, and just overall time and energy. So you can't choose 7 different things to choose on in your business that's gonna help you grow or be more successful. Now, that doesn't mean they're not important. It just means you have to prioritize on which ones will yield you the biggest results. So if you're just starting off, if you're you're just starting off and you have no customers, you have almost no experience, right? If you're like brand spanking new and you have a bit of experience, you worked on your vehicle, if you're on that part, then your number one goal, aside from everything else, like if you're just learning how to detail and such, your number one goal is, how do I just get 5 customers a month to pay me $20, $25 for a car wash, right? Assuming you have a full-time job or a part-time job where you're also going to school. Again, you're gonna have limited time and energy, so you want to start off small with your goals. You don't want to say, I'm gonna make $100,000 my first year, I'm gonna hustle so hard, I don't care if I don't sleep, I'm gonna work 18-hour days. It sounds all fine and fun and cool to say that, but once you actually get to it, try working those 18 hours. Let's see how much work you actually get done. And what I mean by that is, you say you work 12, 15 hours, only about 4 of those are actually you putting in work, actually being productive. So it's not about working a lot of hours by any means necessary. It's just about working the however many hours you can and getting the most out of that. So if you're saying, I'm gonna work minimum 14 hours a day, 12 hours a day, that's cool. But can you work half that time and still get the same amount of tasks done? Probably, depending on what you're working on. But it's definitely not just about it's not just about working more hours for the sake of saying, hey, I'll work 12 hours today. That's definitely not the goal you want to go after. So when you're first starting off, you don't want to focus on, okay, I'm going to be the best detailer. Let me focus on being the best paint correction specialist, or working on 50,000 interiors to say I'm the best. Look, being completely honest, you only need to be an average detailer to start your business, if we're being honest here. Of course, can you be better? Do you want to overachieve? Of course, you always want to do that every single time with whatever you do. But the reality is, if you want to start a business, you only need to offer average results. When I started, I was probably below average because I was just starting off. I didn't have all that much experience. I was probably a below average detailer. And after a few months, getting more cars under my belt, I became better and better, and then I moved up to an average detailer, then a bit better than an average detailer, then I was pretty good as a detailer, then I got really great as a detailer. So it's always a progressive state that you're in with detailing. So don't think out of the gate, you're like, I have to be the best detailer on this planet. I have to spend 20 hours learning how to detail before I start my business, or before I charge X amount. That's all very, 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 very irrelevant. So I would say, if you're just starting off, and even if you're not and you already started your business, I would definitely focus on, okay, yeah, spend 20% of your time on detailing things, on learning how to detail products, processes, and such. The other 80%, you gotta focus on the business side of things. You gotta focus on, how do I really talk to my customers to give them the best experience possible? How do I generate more leads per week? Because a lot of you are saying, hey, look, I want more sales, I want more customers. People call me up and they complain about price. I'm too expensive. What do I do? Well, a lot of times, instead of having a sales issue, right? People are calling you up and you're telling them your price, you're giving them, you're trying to build up your value, and they're telling you no, you're too expensive, you're too whatever. It's sometimes not so much a sales issue in terms of you're not selling them properly. It's oftentimes a lead issue. So you're saying I have 5 people calling me, and 3 of them told me no, 1 of them was a maybe, and 1 person booked. How do I improve my sales skills? Now, I'm sure there's things you can do in your sales process to improve your close rate, to better communicate your services, or you can just go find another 5 more people to try and sell to for the week. So instead of getting 5, you get 10. And now by the default of numbers, you increase your sales. So don't always think about it as just a sales problem. It could also be, well, you just need to generate more leads while you're at it as well. So if you're saying I want to close more deals, well, you need to be able to generate more leads. Don't just focus on if you're getting 5 consistent people calling you up per week. Try bumping that up to 10, to 15, to 20. You'll have more success when bumping up the leads that come in per week and trying to close those, rather than keeping your leads constant and trying to have a higher close rate. Again, there might be a few variables in your process that's kind of hindering your results from closing more sales. But again, it's not just a sales problem, it's also a lead generation problem. And if it is a lead generation problem, if you don't know how to up from 3 leads a week to 5 leads a week to 7 leads a week, focus on marketing, because that's where they're all going to come from. And check it out, let me see here. These 2, I gotta buy new ones. So it's a pain to use these now because my hand always hits the wheel face. So I gotta get new. I was thinking about going with the Easy Detail brush just to try them out, but I might just order the Daytona brushes are the equivalent of these, but that's funny. They're both off. So 2 other things you need to keep in mind if you're trying to set yourself up for 2018. Now again, there's plenty of things you can do, but 2 of the most important things you need to focus on, and I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this video, and are things you have to focus on. Number 1 is accountability. Is as much of planning and doing that you're saying you're going to do, right? You're going to say, I'm going to hustle so hard, 12 hours a day, I want to make $60,000 this year, I don't care what I do. As much as you're talking, who's holding you accountable to your actions? If it's just you and you're the only one that knows that you're going to work 12 hours, then that's a problem. Why? Because if you don't work 12 hours, or if you say you're gonna make $1,000 the first month, or if you're gonna say you're gonna reach out to 50 people and you don't, well, who's gonna say, hey, you didn't actually do what you said you're gonna do? Why not? If you just keep everything to yourself, then you have a much higher chance of not following through of what you said you were gonna do. So if I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna work so hard, I'm gonna contact 50 people, and the only person that knows is me, and after a month I don't do any of that, well, it's very easy for me to just say, well, okay, next month for sure, without anyone holding myself accountable. So you can hold yourself internally accountable yourself if you have a proper system set up for that. But even then, it's very easy to just, kind of brush it off because it's just you. So I would highly advise you to get a friend or family member or another detailer to hold you accountable for the next 12 months. And that means either meeting once a week on Sunday to review past week's goals or past week's performance and setting up next week's performance, and do that every single week on the same day, same time for the next 52 weeks. That way they're holding you accountable every week, and you're holding each other accountable to make sure you're going in the right direction with your goals. Now, second thing you're gonna wanna keep in mind is tracking. So you wanna track your activity. And this is gonna be very, very dependent on what you're doing with your business in terms of what metrics you're tracking. Of course, high level overview, you're gonna think about, okay, how many people have called me this week? How much money did I generate per detail? What's the average ticket price? How did the customer find me? You're gonna track the time it takes you. You're gonna track perhaps your hourly rate on each vehicle, what service it was, the customer themselves. You wanna track all that information because the better we get at tracking, the more confidence we have moving forward. I forgot where I heard that from, but it was a great quote where the better tracking we have, the more confidence we have moving forward. So if you don't know why or how you're getting customers, then what can you do about that? If you see that most of your customers are coming from like one specific person or one specific business, then try to find out how you can get more of those from that business or person. But if you're not tracking anything, you don't know. Or if you're saying, hey, I wanna make $25 an hour, and you're not tracking how much money you're making or how many services or what type of services you're offering, and you're actually like in the $15 range and you're trying to hit 25, but you're not tracking your hourly rate or anything, so you don't even know what range you're in, that's gonna be a problem. So you want to track different metrics, that way you know how you're progressing. So if you're saying, and you can get very granular with this, and this is always ever changing. Like right now I have everything set up for the year in terms of what I'm tracking. 3 months from now I may say, tracking this is too cumbersome, it's not really that important, I'm gonna take this off because I really don't need it, and that's that. So it is always ever changing. Don't think the way you set it up once is done forever and you can never change it. No, what you track, your goals, they're able to change. They're fluid throughout the year. They don't have to be one constant brick that you're gonna go after. But it is very important to track your progress. That way you know if you're on track and what's what. Because I mean, if you're in business and you don't know your numbers, and not just how much money I made, this month, but how much money I generated, the expenses, average ticket price, the hours I've worked, how much did I average out on that job. All that is very, very crucial to your business. Now again, if you're just starting off, you have no customers, you have little experience, you're not gonna get many customers in the beginning, don't go overboard. This is definitely if you already have a business that's generating a few $1,000s per month and you're gonna ramp it up, you definitely need to have tracking in place. But with that said, that you need to be tracking your activity, you also can't put too much of a load on you. Again, you're limited on time and resources. As much as you want to say, I'm gonna track all my finances for bookkeeping purposes, I'm gonna focus on building my website, creating traffic, uploading videos to YouTube, and posting on Instagram. I'm also going to dedicate a lot of my time to learning how to detail. On top of that, you have a part-time job, full-time job, or you're a college student. That's gonna be too overwhelming. That's why you only need 1 or 2 goals for the year for you to pursue for your business. It's not, again, it's in an ideal situation if you had a team behind you and some capital to work with. You wanna be more elaborate and granular with what you're doing because you can do more stuff. Just you starting off, pick 1 or 2 goals and hyper focus on that for the next 12 months. Most of the time, it's gonna be generating sales and leads. I mean, that should really be the main focus if you're just starting off or you're not happy with where you are. Yeah, you can become a better detailer. Yeah, you can get more training. Yeah, you can whatever. But at the end of it is, if you don't have more money coming in, everything else that you're doing is irrelevant because you have no customers. So to get more customers, you need to focus on marketing to generate more leads to get more sales. I'm telling you, if you go more than just 1 or 2 goals, you're not gonna be as effective. Now, don't get me wrong, you could put your time and energy into 2, 3, 4 different goals, but instead of half-assing 2 to 4 different goals, put your everything into 1 or 2 goals to get the absolute most results, that the absolute best results you can get from 1 or 2 results, from 1 or 2 goals that you're setting for yourself. And I know a lot of you are asking, well, Oscar, what are your goals? We'd like to hear yours. What are you doing? So for me, I'll give you a quick overview. Is right now I'm actually restructuring everything that I'm doing in my business. I no longer want to stay a solo dolo person. That's never been my plan. And now I'm setting things in place so I can actually start hiring and moving things forward and actually building a big organization. So for 2018, for me, it's not so much of detailing and actually going out and servicing customers. It's taking a step back holistically and saying, what do I gotta do? What people do I gotta place? What paperwork, everything that I need to do to start actually building an organization, a company, with the proper foundation and infrastructure to really scale it up once everything's in place. Because that's never been my plan to stay one person. It's never been my plan. It's not gonna be my plan. I want to build up an actual organization with a lot of technicians, with managers, with operations managers, with accounting department, all that good stuff to make. Those are my plans to run a very efficient business and actually be the business owner and on the business side of things, not going out and detailing vehicles on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, I do that now because I have to, but now at the point where I'm at, I can take a step back. I can focus more on marketing and sales. That way, I'm not detailing as much, but again, and it's going back to what I just said, I'm not focusing on detailing as much right now because I'm focusing on marketing. So even though I'm not servicing all these calls that I'm getting, all these emails and text messages, I kid you not, I'm not servicing anywhere close to the percentage of people that are actually reaching out to me. But I'm still working on my marketing to further increase the amount of leads that I'm getting every week and month. That way, when I do have all my systems in place and I can actually start working in a more efficient manner, and aside from just me, then that's where it pays off. So I'm not waiting and saying I'm gonna wait till I have my van, I'm gonna wait till I have this employee, I'm gonna wait till this paperwork. No, I'm still actively marketing. I still get dozens of calls per week of people reaching out to me. I don't book them all, because at this point I don't need to book them. I just hand them off to someone else. But I'm still working on my marketing to keep on increasing those leads. So even though I can't service them, I'm still working on marketing to get more leads. So when I am in place and ready to roll, I can just start taking them on and I'm in business. And a lot of you should follow that mentality where you don't need to be the best detailer. You don't need to quit your job in order to get customers. If you have a full-time job, part-time job, you're a college student, still work on marketing. Still generate leads and sales. Let me fix this exposure real quick. Still get leads and sales, because it's much better to quit your job and already have a pipeline of people calling you every week than it is to quit your job and then you start looking for the leads and sales. So for me, I already have tons of people calling me every week. Even during December and November, the winter months, I'm still having tons of people call me, email me, text me for my services. And going into January, I'm still gonna have a lot of people emailing me, texting me, and calling me for my services. So those are my overall goals. I will be sharing the more specific numbers in terms of, oh, let me fix exposure again, in terms of revenue and all the other cool numbers, but that'll be in a separate video when I can get more granular and more focused on that subject. So for now, that's just a high-level overview of, yes, I actually want to build a big organization, and that's starting off in 2018 for the position that I'm in right now with my business. So that's just a little update to you guys. But since we're rolling into the new year, there's less than 2 weeks. You should start planning now. I mean, don't wait. Like, you don't want to wait till January 1st and then you say, okay, let me see what I got for 2018. No, you got to start planning now. Look back the last 12 months, see what went well, what didn't go so well, what you can improve, some big takeaways of 2017 moving into 2018. Did you miss your goals? If so, by how much? Adjust those for 2018. If you completely surpass them, then how by, increase them by 50% and see if you can hit them for that year. Have an accountability meeting with yourself or with a partner. And this accountability partner doesn't have to be another detailer or business owner. It could literally be your girlfriend, spouse, husband, friend, brother, sister. The main part is that you tell them your goals, and then on that Sunday that you guys meet up for or talk on the phone for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes max, it's saying, they're gonna say, hey, look, did you do what you said you're gonna do? Or you're gonna review your past performance, your week performance, and you're gonna explain to them what happened. But they're not so much like an expert on oh no, you're supposed to do this, no, they're not an expert by any means. They're there to just hold you accountable for what you say you're gonna do. But you should be having an accountability meeting every Wednesday of every week of every month. So for the next 52 weeks, you'll have an accountability call, 10 to 20 minutes max, over the phone. You don't have to be in person. Then you're gonna have a monthly meeting. That one's for 30 to an hour on either the day before the month ends, the day of, the last day of the month, or one day after the month ends. Then you want to have and that's for 30 to 60 minutes. And then you have a quarterly meeting, and that's either one day before the quarter ends, the day of the quarter, or one day after the quarter ends, and that'll be for 30 to or 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending if you guys are both sharing each other's goals or if it's just one person. But that's the structure you want to follow. And if possible, you want to have one 3-minute phone call every morning of the day to review what you're going to do today, to share each other's goals, and then move on. So you want to have a daily for 3 to 5 minutes, a weekly for 10 to 20 minutes, a monthly for 30 to an hour, and then a quarterly for 45 to an hour and a half. And you want to do that every single week, every single day, every single week, every single month, and every single quarter for the remaining 12 months, so you are on track to hit your goals. If you're not going if you're not progressing the way you want to go, then you're gonna adjust your goals accordingly or adjust your activity accordingly. So if you're saying, I want to make 100,000 by the end of this year, by second quarter you're still at 20,000. Okay, let's get real. You're probably not gonna hit 100,000. Lower that number, not because you can't do it, but just to set your expectations right and to make sure you're setting yourself for success. Lower that big goal, change up your metrics a little bit, and then go again hard for the remaining of the year. But if you're not tracking, if you're not doing those accountability meetings, you're just shooting yourself in the dark, or you're just moving in the dark, and 12 months from now you're gonna say, hey look, not much change for the year. So I know this is a rather long video, but it is 2018. I'll be sharing more videos on my journey as the year progresses, of course. But other than that, leave any questions or comments that you have about rolling into the new year. So I'm excited. I'm very, very, very excited to push the new year. This one's definitely going to be a breakthrough year for me. So that's good. Hopefully it's the same for you. So leave those questions down below. And by the way, if you are interested in starting your own detailing business, it doesn't matter if you have no experience or you have a lot of experience, but you want to start a business, check the description box down below for this 9 services guide you can offer in your business. It gives you the services, what's included, the value of it, the potential time and price range that you can offer. You can get all that from the description box down below if you're interested in starting your detailing business. I'll see you on the next one.